Oh, you coming up fit? Got it. Okay.
Good evening and good morning to Margaret. Hi, Margaret. Would you like to introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about yourself?
Oh, hello. Good morning. I'm in Tasmania, the little bottom part of Australia, and I've been writing for quite a few years, but taking it seriously in the past 10 years. I've actually written 5 novels, but the 4th is about to come out in a few months' time. They're all set in Australia, different states, with all our unique true blue Aussie lingo and mainly country people, real old bushies that everybody can understand and laugh along with. And, well, they're all very different. This last one is Repent at Leisure. That's set in Crib Island, which is the old Crib Island, which is now the Brisbane Airport, and it's more of a dark mystery of a hitchhiker that takes off and some pretty unscrupulous group of people, more of a crime one. And so that's only been out about 2.5 weeks. My favourite is still this, Waiting in Wattle Vale. It's a beautiful story. Oh, by the way, that there was inspired by, believe it or not, one time I was questioning the contents of a meat pie and then imagination took over. So that's it. But yes, so Waiting in Wattle Vale, this one here was inspired by a few years ago. I was in the position of being with my mum, helping her through the changes of her life, going into a home and everything that included. And it got me through helping and supporting that process. But it's not a sad book. It's a very emotional, beautiful, happy book. It's just a year in this home called Wattle Vale, with all the different characters and all their stories and all the carry-on and larrikinisms that they get up to in this home with the staff. It's a really feel-good story, and I've had a lot of people saying, oh, I was a carer, or I've worked in a home. How did you know that? That's exactly what happens. And also a lot of people who are going through that, it takes away the stigma. But it's not a heavy book. It's a very light-hearted, happy read. Still my favourite. And this one, that was the first one printed. That is set in, oh, by the way, Waiting in Wattle Vale is set on the border of New South Wales and Victoria, rural country town. And this one is set in Maleny up in Queensland. It's 2 women it's F&Bs, that's Frances and Bella's house sitters. That is one girl down in New South Wales got sick of her marriage, her life, boring, going nowhere. So she hit the road, loaded up her van and decided to travel. Meanwhile, up in Queensland, there's another lady who's just getting a bit edgy with her life and what can I do? So these 2 ladies meet up and set up this house sitting business, and there's lots of humour, lots of odd situations, different people that they come across and things they have to cope with. Lots of laughs again, both very free, happy reads, light-hearted reads. Yeah. So that's more now my, genre that I can do is the light-hearted fictions. The first one, that Repent at Leisure, that was my first actual story I wrote, and I was still finding my feet, so it was more crime and dark and heavy stuff like that, but now it flows easy with fiction. So yes, and the next one to come out in a couple of months is called Gidgee Harbour, that's set in South Australia, a little tiny harbour town with lots of a shopping strip where lots of people, all the shops, they're going on, what's going on, who's moving in, and how they save this little strip by a big multinational taking over. So that's out soon, and then there's one in progress now set in the Snowy Mountains. So I'm a busy girl, yes.
Did you always know that you wanted to be a writer?
I did, always, yes. I was always scribbling and making little books for kids as a child, and took it seriously now. Yes, it's my way of not escaping stress relief, if you know what I mean. Get lost in that creative world. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
what made you actually take the plunge and go for it?
Well, I suppose I changed my life around. I left Queensland, came down here, down to Tasmania, started afresh. New life, new home, new me, new everything. And it just seemed, perhaps I was free in myself to bring out all the creativity, but that's just how it happened, and it's continued ever since. And I've got a very busy life, but that is what I have to do. Yeah, it's calling me. Yeah, for want of a better word.
Do you have a favourite character you've written so far?
Yes, definitely. In Waiting in Wattle Vale, we've got an old fellow, old bushy. He's a larrikin. He's called Digger, a real old ocker. He's Paul Hogan type, if you know what I mean. Yeah. Oh, there she is.
There she is.
Hello. Hello, pretty. Hello, beautiful girl.
It's terrible. Get your head out the way. And if you were to be transported into any of your own books as a character, which book would you choose?
Waiting in Wattle Vale, definitely this one. Yep. Yes. Oh, well, I suppose all writers become that person and feel what their emotions are and what they're going through. So, yeah. Well, there again, the F&B's house sitters, because I did do house sitting once too, or once in a blue moon. So I know exactly what goes on, and a few of those things are actual from true events and the travelling and all the fun things that we did. So there's a little bit of me in all of them.
And what's the most fun scene you've written in any of your books?
Well, oh, goodness me. Probably in the beginning of Waiting in Wattle Vale, it starts off with, you have a cantankerous old misery who's grumbling all the time, and this Digger and his mate are strumming on their banjo and their little bottle top and their squeeze boxes and singing all these slim, dusty, bushy Australian songs, and this pompous old thing marches along, carries on, and banging at their door, and so it goes on. They're always taking the mickey out of each other. So yeah, there's quite a lot of hilarity in that one, in all of them, but especially Waiting in Wattle Vale. And there's things in there that you keep laughing all the time, or visualising. Yep, I can see that. That's what happens. They're always up to something to keep you going anyway. Yeah, and laughing.
And do you hide any secret jokes or messages in your books that only a few people would understand?
Well, I'm a great animal lover. Usually there is something in there about some character is always standing up, championing animals and the welfare of them and the care of them. And they all are in my books. So, yeah. No, that's about it. Just care, love, and respect of animals.
Awesome. That's good. When you're editing your books, what's your most overused word or phrase?
Well, tend to repeat myself, but I've jumped on that now. I can't quite now think of anything. Just finding other ways to say things. Yeah, that's all I'm about. Yeah. Yeah.
And have you made lots of author friends since you started writing?
Oh, heaps, absolute heaps. Wonderful support. Oh, goodness me, yeah. For a start, Amanda Sheridan, Vicky Pepler. Look, so many. Yes, they've been a really great support, a great help. Promotional wise, even this I saw. Yeah, I can't name them all. But without the writers groups, gee, I'd still be floundering, I'd expect.
Yeah, the author community is quite supportive, isn't it? So it doesn't surprise me.
No. I mean, well, even this is wonderful. This really is. It's a real kickstart to the day. And my career, no doubt.
Let's hope so.
Yes.
And do you get a lot of feedback from your readers?
I do. I get some wonderful feedback from the read and just so positive. But once again, it's the review thing. Quite often they're elderly people or they don't have a computer or they don't know how to use it. I love the reviews, but it's, oh, yes. It doesn't I do get the reviews, but a wonderful feedback and asking and buying the next book. So brilliant support there. Same as from the family and friends. They've just been mighty, which is really encouraging and helps the confidence, if you know what I mean, because writers are very vulnerable and yeah, so it means a lot.
Yeah. What's been your standout favourite moment since you started writing?
I'd say getting the first book, the first one published, and wow, it's really here. And then from then on, yeah. So doing all the markets, the bookstores, libraries, yeah, doing everything I can to get it out there. And the bookstores down here and I've got a distributor now, which is great, Black Gum. So they go to the airports and the tourist information places. Yeah, news agents, things like that. The local community here has been absolutely brilliant. Gift shops. So, yeah, and it's a bit of a kick when you walk down the street and say, oh, hello, you're such and such. I am indeed, yeah. So it's a slow process.
If you're able to spend a day with any author, dead or alive, who would you like to spend a day with?
Oh, Bryce Courtney. Love his stuff, always have, yeah.
And if you're able to travel to any period of time, either forwards or backwards, where would you like to go?
Oh, back in the days of Little House on the Prairie in the Waltons, most definitely. Yeah, quite easy to be a pioneer. Yeah.
What do you like to do when you're not writing or when you have free time?
Well, I de-stress, get out in the garden, scratch out some weeds and walk along the beach with the dog, or I spin, wool spinning, wool. Too many hats on, and so I'm very busy all the time doing this, things that I haven't caught up with or was meant to do. So, yeah, it's not a boring time, but mainly get out in nature to, reground. Yeah.
And I can imagine the nature is quite amazing where you are.
Oh, it's gorgeous because I live on the beach, I live at the ocean. So, yeah. And sometimes the crashing waves wake me up in the middle of the night. And I thought, oh, I'd love to be down there, but better not. One never knows.
Yeah, I'm not jealous at all. It's fine. I haven't seen the sea for ages.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I
Just
live.
show my cat your dog so they can.
Oh, she's licking my toe through my sock.
Oh, yeah, okay. Breakfast time. I mean, tea time, yeah.
What are you doing? I do. Do you have any strange or unusual hobbies or talents?
I could well do. I don't know. I try different things all the time. I'm always trying something different, and then you get bored with it, as you do when you've accomplished it and you've succeeded with knowing how to do things. So I'm always trying different things. Yeah, but I think I'm more of a not handyman. That's handy woman. I'll have a go at anything, if you know what I mean. Yep. Before asking somebody else.
At least the writing's stuck then. At least you haven't got bored of that yet.
Pardon, sorry.
At least the writing's stuck. At least you haven't got bored of doing that.
Oh yeah. That's right. That's exactly right. Time to myself, and it's very healthy. Very healthy. Yeah.
What's that? Did you hear?
Threw me out.
How do you choose your character names for your books?
Well, it could be people I've met, or situation. It just comes, and I try to find the names that are suitable for them, so that it gels, the novel gels, and the descriptions of them could be from people I've known, or not that I'd, you know what I mean, say that it is them, but yeah, based on people I know or situations I know. Whereas, say that Waiting in Wattle Vale, it's dedicated to my mum, who's still in there. She's 93 now. But yeah, just certain little things that have happened in her life been put into somebody else's character, things like that. Yeah. And I suppose this is what everybody does. Yeah.
You get a chance to read a lot, and do you have a top read of 2021?
A top readers.
A top read of 2021.
I don't know what this top reader, what do you mean?
Book that you've read this year. Do you have a favourite?
Oh, have I? Well, Amanda Sheraton's The Dreaming series, they were just wonderful. But no, I've always got my head in a book. That's another way to slow down. Yeah.
And do you read any particular genre, or will you read anything?
Yeah, mainly Australian in the last century, the century before. Yeah, just true blue characters, bushies, survivors, nothing heavy. I'm not a crime, because see, I read of a night, that's how I get to sleep, with Madam here, who probably historical English romance, not romance, historical English and Australian. That's about it. Yeah. Or during the war, those type of things. Yeah.
And would you consider writing anything else?
Yes. Yep. But the stories are always here. I suppose I'll know when there's no more stories in there. Yeah. Well, yes, because right now I'm doing one that's people come from Scotland, from Ireland and England back in the, when Tasmania was convicts, and it's been going on, and now we're up to about, 1990. So it's taking time, this one. So that's going to be a pretty good one. I just haven't got a name yet, but it ends up in the snowy mountains. It's more about a house, yeah, and how they travel around with their bullocky teams, things like that. So that one I'm really enjoying. And by the time I've finished, I'm hoping that I have one in every state of Australia.
What do you do when you run out of Australian states?
I'll have to go to New Zealand. I'll have to travel.
Before the pandemic, did you travel much?
Oh, yes. Yeah. Often up to, I've been overseas only, I've been to New Zealand, I've been to Malaysia and that, but excuse me, mainly up to Australia to see Mum and sort things out up there, visit friends, or travel around on the ferry boat, the river boats, the houseboats on the Murray River and that. I love that life. That would be the ideal life for me. Yep, out on the river. No people around, just my critters.
And is there anywhere you're dying to visit in the world?
Ireland, yeah, definitely Ireland, and Scotland. Love to. And I haven't been to England yet. But apart from that, not particularly. Australia's so big and it's so vast and so different in all the places. I could be looking at that forever, traveling through that forever. So one day I'll just, get in the camper, get in the wagon and, do the old free camping trip and check it out. Get back to the real basics of bush and, and that will happen one day. When I sell Indian books, maybe, eh?
Yeah, and don't come to Britain at this time of year, it's too cold.
Okay, yep, well, better than here, it's too hot. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I spoke to someone yesterday and the day before and they said it was too hot. I'm like, well, I'm freezing, so I don't care, I'll take it.
Yeah, it's very hard to visualise, isn't it? Like when you're freezing, what awful hot is. It makes you so tired and cooks your brain. It's awful. Yeah. And that's why I came down to Tasmania too, because of the temperate weather. From Brisbane, it's just like a steam bath up there. Melts the sunglasses on your dashboard even.
Oh, blimey.
Oh,
yeah,
no.
we definitely we don't get anywhere near that. Or very rarely, a day or two and then it's gone.
Really? But mind you, I believe it does get scorching hot over there.
Yeah, it can do, but it never lasts. Well, occasionally we've had long hot summers, but generally not really. We get 20 degrees generally if we're lucky.
Yes. Oh no, it sounds nice though where you are. We'll get there one day.
Yeah, it is a lovely. There's some beautiful countryside and things to see over here. So I only visited Scotland for the first time myself this year and loved it. I wanted to go back straight away. So yeah.
Apparently it's very majestic looking.
Yeah, it's just stunning. Really is incredible. Yeah. Well, I don't think I can think of any more questions for you unless you think there's anything I haven't asked you that you want to tell us about.
No, I don't think so. Just keep your eye out on Greta Harvey's book, and and I do thank you so much. It's just been so charming talking to you. very excited. It's just made my day.
Good, I'm pleased to hear it. And just before we go, would you like to tell everyone where they can find out more about you and where they can get your books from?
Oh, well, all the electronic platforms in the bookshops here in Australia, I assume over there too. And yes, all the electronics. So I'm on Facebook, Greta Harvey Author. On all the website and that. No, I haven't got a website, sorry, but yeah, all the electronic platforms.
Fabulous. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you so much. It was so lovely talking to you.
You too.
Okay.